Hey guys. So I got the Blackmagic 6K Pro, and it's already broken. Let's talk about what happened. So I was in the process of testing the camera, and as you guys can see, the screen is flickering pretty badly. I had already done 2 test shoots with the camera and I was pretty stoked about it, but unfortunately the issue just seemed to get worse the more I used it. So let's go back. At the beginning of 2020, I purchased my first cinema camera, the Ursa Mini Pro. I was so happy. It was used, but seemed like it was in pretty good condition. I'd bought one that was a very high grade, and externally at least, it looked very clean, very nice. The screen was all perfect. The outer body was very nice. But unfortunately, there was some stuff going on inside that I didn't quite know about. So I was so stoked to have it. I bought all the accessories for it, a little cheese plate for it, an SSD caddy. I even started shooting a doc on it, and that's when COVID hit. So didn't get a ton of use out of that, but I figured, you know, I'd store it away for a few months, wait for things to get better, and then I'd jump back into it. Unfortunately, about a month later, I turned it on, and all of a sudden I started to smell smoke. That's never a good thing when you're turning on electronics. So I opened the screen, I looked at it, and it had a bunch of bars down it. Even shooting, it would record the bars. So I'm pretty sure it was an issue between the sensor and the main board of the camera. I never got any of the details, even though I asked. So basically what I did is I actually bought an insurance plan, which I almost never do, but for a product so expensive, it seemed maybe like vaguely a good idea. So I sent it to the warranty company, which turned out to be an insurance company. And basically they had it for 2 months. And finally, after the 2 months, I kind of called them to check in, and they were like, yeah, so basically the camera is so damaged that it can't be repaired. And so that was kind of confusing to me, but apparently the repair shop I had bought it from never really disclosed that the camera had been repaired a ton of times, and there were a lot of electrical issues going on inside. That's not great. I'm sorry, I'm like reliving this, and this is, you know that feeling when you're like so excited about something and then it just turns out to just be like terrible. That was this. So anyway, I was like, oh, okay, great. Well, at least they'll be able to give me my money back. I bought it used anyway, so the value won't have gone down that much. Apparently, their adjusters thought differently. So I ended up only getting about $2,000 for this camera that I paid a lot more for. Whatever, I'm never buying insurance through Consumer Priority Service ever again. Don't recommend that company if you're somebody with a camera. I don't know how they are on other products. Don't do it for cameras. I don't know, do what you want, but I didn't have a good experience. So basically I just continued to shoot on my A7 III that I had still and just not worry about the Ursa. Just sat on the money for a while. And then fast forward to this year, the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K Pro, that is an awful name, came out. And it was one of the cheapest cameras to have NDs. It had great dynamic range, great colors. I love the colors that come out of Blackmagic. It's like a poor man's Airy, which is really cool to have access to such great color science at such a low price. Okay, so what happened that led to the screen flicker? From what I can tell, it seems like it's a manufacturer defect. I've only read about one other place, maybe 2 other places online where people are talking about the 6K Pro having a flickering issue. So apparently I'm lucky number 3. But as far as documenting what actually happened to me, I had 2 test shoots, both testing it at night and during the day to kind of see how the sensor acted in low light versus daytime. I thought it was some pretty good tests, but basically as soon as I turned it on, the backlight started to flicker up and then down, and then up and then down. And it was very slow for a long time. So I noticed that it really started to kind of pick up, especially at the daytime shoot. So I don't know if it had to do with temperature or what exactly, but the thing that really set it off was at the end of the daytime shoot when I plugged it in to charge the battery in camera, and then I had another charger going with the 2 other batteries because I had a 3rd shoot coming up the day after. Basically, the screen started flickering like crazy. And so I think it had to be some bad capacitor or some bad part on the board basically that was just leading this power to go completely crazy and almost unregulated through the components. I wasn't too interested in, in keeping that and seeing how it went, because with my Ursa, it seemed to just get worse and worse over time. So moral of the story is apparently I have very bad luck with Blackmagic cameras. So you would assume that I just returned it, but you would be wrong. So that's right, I'm trying Blackmagic for a third time. I'm getting a replacement 6K Pro. We're gonna see how that goes. I'll have some content up about the 6K Pro. Hopefully it turns out fine. Hopefully there's no issue. Hopefully there's no blue tint on the screen. That's another issue I had that I didn't mention here. But yes, this model also had the blue tint on the screen. Doesn't affect the recordings, but when you have an external monitor, you can tell that there's definitely a blue shift going on. It also makes setting white balance by eye very difficult because you are getting wildly different things from what you're actually recording. So it may not have been the smartest thing to reorder another one, but hey, it's a great value and we're gonna see if this works out. So I'll keep you all updated in the comments. Hopefully it turns out okay, and hopefully I'll have some videos out about the 6K Pro. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, let me know down below. If you're experiencing the same issue, please comment down below. I really want to know who else is having this issue. Even if you're just having the blue issue, I kind of want to see what frequency, and especially if you're having no issues, because this camera seems to be very issue prone. So if you have no issues at all, I kind of want to know where you got it from. So let me know. Maybe we can track down those good batches and kind of figure things out. Anyway, that's all I have this time. Thank you so much. I can't really say I hope you learned something, because I don't think anybody actually learned anything from this video, but I don't know, maybe you learned that Blackmagic has some quality issues, but they're still really great value, so I don't know.